YouTube. But I do you even know what you call this? Well, it's a Hofner from 1950. It's either 56 or 58. I can't remember what Bob said. So this is, yeah, one of these. An archtop ancient guitar, like, not as old as my dad, but in a similar thing. These squeaky straps again. Yeah, so I had this in to fit a pickup very similar to whatever the original pickup would have been, and a scratch plate. And obviously great fun putting in an output jack and wiring a pickup in through the F-hole. To be honest, it wasn't actually anything like as hard as I thought it was going to be. I used a bass string. I've done it before, you know, like a 335 is an absolute pig. You have to take out the bridge pickup and put all the electrics in through that, but it's got volume controls. This doesn't. This has just got an output jack. So I basically just wired the output jack onto the pickup and then stuck it on a bass string. The ball end of the bass string had a matchstick glued through the end of it. Managed to eventually poke the bass string through the hole from the inside, through the middle of the volume jack. Poked it through, held it up with pliers, tightened it up, pushed the bass string back in again, fished it back out the F-hole. That wasn't actually as difficult as I thought. So the wire is actually hidden by this scratch plate. Scratch plate's held on by a system I've never seen before. It's got like a wee, this is a new reproduction scratch plate. So it's got the usual sort of Les Pauly type wee lever here. And on this it's got like a wee plastic bit of scratch plate with a panel pin through it. And the same here. So I've glued that wee bit of plastic onto the back of the scratch plate here, and then it's a panel pin going into the fretboard. And this one's just sitting on top of the panel pin on top of the fretboard, going into a wee hole that's on the bridge. Kind of bizarre system. Kind of maybe not designed to be rocked quite the way, you know, you're not really meant to be jumping off crowd surfing and stuff with a guitar of this vintage. It does have what used to be a wee volume control on the top of the pickup, but it's like a wee metal wheel that's loose, so it's kind of on, or if you kind of wiggle it about, it goes off, and then if you wiggle it again, it'll come back on again. That's kind of what it does. It's not really a working volume control. I think Bob may be a bit upset about that. I had a look at it, and there's no way I can take it to bits. It's like pop riveted together. It's a wee metal wheel, and I thought it was pretty mad. Okay, cool. That was me message Civet to say don't give me a phone. I'm doing a video, so she's beeping. Well done. So this still got the original tuners on it, which had been strung up wrong, Bob. See, they put the strings on the outside of the tuners on this side and this side, so they all work the wrong way. But the problem with that is, though, it's really hard work for the tuners. So I did manage to get it into tune, but see how much I had to turn the G string to get it into tune was ridiculous. So I flipped them around the other way. You did give me new strings to put on it, but these ones seem quite new, so I think, to be honest, because the guitar wasn't really working. The action was an inch. This has had a neck repair at some point, and you can actually see on the top of the fingerboard it's been wood screws, I think, put through and then patched up. So I had to do some fret work here because the frets that were around about that were much higher to get in tone. But now it was the 12th fret, the 13th fret was just miles high. But now it's playing them. It's now sort of in toned. I've got the action down to we're not talking. It's not a neoclassical speed metal machine. Where's the thing that's millimeters there? So the action at the 12th fret is kind of. It's not the one I want. Where's the one that's going to be indents on it there? The action's coming in. It's like 2.5 mil. Acoustic guitar, 2.5 mil. Okay, so it's just within the range of what an acoustic should be set to, but it's alright. I kind of don't want to go any lower. The way I did that was by angle grinding the bottom of the wooden bridge. This is just a floating bridge, which is long since gummed up. It does have an adjustable thing on it, but it's decked out. So I think when the neck's been put back on again, it's kind of gone on too low. But it's now playable. Again, what often happens with guitars, you never really notice, it doesn't have fret markers on the end of the fingerboard, which is really annoying, which means that you're sitting there and it's like, you can sort of play it, but not really. And it's not really holding tune particularly well yet, but I think that might be to do with the fact that these strings are although never played, I think they might be quite old. Like they've maybe been on it for a year or something like that. I do have another set of strings here I was going to put on it, but I just can't. I don't like putting strings on with the ones that are on it. I've still got some life in them because I'm cheap, so I'll just give him these back and he can do it later on. Top tapes. So it's a 52 to a 12. Monel flat wound jazz guitar strings. Wound third string like that. Yeah, well. So yeah, I'll just play jazz guitar on it. But the neck on this is, you hear about baseball bat necks and this is an absolute chunker, but it's really comfortable. It really is like a broomstick or something. Actually, looking at it, I think it might be a 3-piece neck. Quite the things you notice when you're like, I don't know how. I mean, these things are probably handmade. But see, can you see the stripe in the middle? It's not in the middle, and it gets to here. It's miles off. It's like 5 mil off where the centre of the headstock is. So I don't know what's going on there. The headstock also seems to be convex. It seems to do that this way. I just don't know. I don't know how what guitars were like. Is this a German one? Ben Hofner. I don't know, it could be. It's supposed to be early. I think these are available as originally you could get them either with this neck pickup, which is actually mounted on the fingerboard and just sitting with these 2 metal brackets sitting hovering above the body. It's not actually touching the body. Kind of bizarre. It's the neck's not even touching the body, and you can see there. You can see right in below the neck. Well, not because I put the scratch plate on, but the neck's kind of cantilevered out, so you can get your finger between. It's joined here. This is all just a big flappy springboard thing, and it's got a really cool. What do we call this? It kind of reminds me of what are those African? Is it a thumb piano or something they call it? Where it's like bent bits of metal over a coconut shell. It's kind of what that looks like. Oh, you could maybe it's a playable thing. No, you can't really get. Okay, maybe it doesn't have any. Again, I can't really play any stuff that was about in '56. My point, I was wondering how Bob was. I wonder how much this cost in 1956. So let's say it's 1958. So how much did this cost compared to a Les Paul? Because if you bought a 1958 Les Paul back then, just now you'd probably be able to buy a mansion with the money from it. £100,000, £200,000, something like that. I don't think these are worth a couple £100,000. I don't know what they go for. My pal Ronnie actually just sold one recently. It was a different one. There's a senator, a president, and I'm sure there's 3 of them. There's like a lower end and a middle one and a top of the range one. I think this is the middle one. A senator. I don't know. I'll ask him and put it in the title, so whatever it says is in the title is the one it is, and I'll put in the year as well, whether it was 56 or 58. It's making a sound. It's actually quite a nice, quite a weird sound being the F-Holy type thing, not like a normal acoustic. That's me trying to play jazzy. It's not jazzy at all, is it? My playing jazz is just playing fast and then trying to play as many wrong notes as possible. I can't play jazz chords because they're dead hard. I'll stick it. I'll do my usual jam over E minor, whatever it was. Turn it on and pick up. And obviously we got one of these, you want to use a fuzz pedal. He doesn't like it in tune. I'm using Scott's Ibanez 100-watt head as well, because that's sort of, I think this is the sort of amp you got in 1956. You know, like a sort of solid state twin channel foot switchy thing with tons of reverb, and a 4x12 or a 3x12 cabinet. I think that's the sort of 1956 standard for when you're playing your jazz clubs. I was going to say playing some early Beatles, but the Beatles in 56, you get and you would have thought I must be able to play how. That's all right, baby. That's all right, baby. That's all right, baby. You can do anything, baby. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right, baby. Any way you choose. I'm gonna have to try and play that, haven't I? Never tried it, so I'm going to be pure terrible at it. I bet you Scotty Moore is really difficult to play. Well, a perfect excuse there. Well, the excuse I'm using is there's actually a wee white fleck of paint there, just there, which is on the 8th fret. So that's what's throwing me, because I've got no reference points whatsoever. The wee white spot, that must be one of the ones I want to use. No, it's definitely not the 8th fret when you're playing an E. It's definitely got a wee sound of its own. I bet you see if I messed about with the EQ, maybe kill some of the treble. Let's just kill all the treble and all the middle and put the bass up. Maybe maybe get a sort of jazzier tune. Sorry, there's a crow on the lawn. I don't know what it is he's eating. It looks like a big bit of cardboard. Why would you be carrying a bit of cardboard about? I'll put it into the metal channel, obviously. That'll be great. Oh yeah, here we go. Does it chirp? Not really. It's been a while since I've seen corn using these. But I really am loving the really thick neck on it. It's kind of. Maybe it's just because it's really different. I don't have anything like this. I just took it on as a job to fix up, figuring it's like a mechanical thing. You don't need to be able to know anything about the guitar. You know, it's like the fact that the neck was a wee bit wonky and all this stuff. That's a mechanical thing. I know that where the bridge has to be, how high it has to be off the fingerboard and stuff like that. So I wonder when the last time this actually played properly was. Turning up all the bass and then turning off the treble in the middle was maybe not the best thing to do. Just level it a little bit, maybe. Staying in June, not the E this time, or the B, or the D, it's a D. And the A. Basically the strings I've been playing. I think maybe that sort of GNT Rugger stuff was probably not meant for jazz flatwounds. I said they were flatwounds, I didn't. I can't remember what it said in the packet. Where's the packet going? I will need to find that packet before I give him back. Tape, top tape. Flatwound. I don't think these are flatwound. These might just be normal strings. Maybe I should put the flatwounds on and get rid of any of that treble. Fret. I don't know what it's made of. It might be made of some sort of crazy wood, like sycamore or something. Does that not what what they used to use in, like, I assume Germany in the 50s and stuff like that? They used wood that they cut down from the forests, as opposed to you don't really get rock maple or rosewood in Germany. So, but maybe I don't know. That is just pure. I bet you it's really extreme quality rosewood that you'd just be banned for using these days. Oh, it's a compensator. I was going to say that's the model. The compensator must be the model of this trapeze thing. It's got a wee bit of the. Do I try and play 2000 Light Years from Home? I have played it before, but I have no idea which not difficult. Apart from now. so this I actually almost finished doing this last week before I did my shoulder, which is still sore, but not as sore today. I do still have worryingly numb bits of my arm. My pointing finger and my thumb's a bit kind of get pins and needles in the end of my finger. It's really kind of not pleasant, but at least I didn't wake up this morning like I have every other day this week at like 3 in the morning, just like because I've obviously rolled onto my sore shoulder at some point. I think I've maybe pulled a muscle, possibly filing frets. I was doing one of the cheapy guitars I got, like a cheap Strat. I'm going to turn it into, I think it's an Iron Brew, I'm going to turn it into. Needed quite a lot of fret work done up here. I think it was all over the place, so I just wanted it done, so I was like sitting there with the file, and I think just by the whole body tensed up, sitting down filing for 20 minutes has pulled something in the back of my neck. Senator, Congress, President. So here's the 1956 or 8. Again, this will be in the title. Hofner, Senator, Congress, or President, which will again will be in the title because I've worked out which one it actually is. Quite a lot of fun, to be honest. I like it. It's the sort of thing I would love to get this in like a trade or something like that. Just something that's completely miles away from anything I would never ever normally have. I keep seeing them, but they're never ever cheap or not. I don't mean like when I say this, I mean a guitar of this type, not an actual 50s one, but like like everybody makes them. You get Arias and Washburns and Ibanez do them and all that sort of thing, where you get like a massive jazz boxy thing, and it's like maybe get a cheap one of them, but you never see them. They're always a couple £100, even for like a really plasticky looking one, because there's just too much goes into making it. It's not like a bandsaw, which is what you need to make a Telecaster or a Strat. It's like you got to, it's hollow, and there's more to it. But an enjoyable little distraction. I really enjoyed it. Rock on, catch you later. What am I doing this week? I've still got to put a video for Foxy's the Buckycaster, which I sent down to him. He's done a couple of videos on it, and didn't understand my super simple to understand instructions. It's like I didn't. He's talking about having a billion sounds and stuff. It's like I totally kept it simple as I could as well. It's quite funny. It's only really got an extra 2 sounds. It's kind of like trying to explain these things is just. They sound so much more complicated. As soon as I start trying to explain it, suddenly it sounds like it's total rocket science, and it's like it's totally not. I'm not good at the actual being able to just say what it does in very simple terms in one sentence. So that video will be coming up. Rock on, catch you later.